self-care, and I see you're getting food. I sent in some pizza and some other stuff, and what else are your needs? Do you need anything else?
No? Okay.
Okay, so, what I just wanna say is that I heard on the news, obviously, some of the demands, right? So I should tell you they're not gonna cancel classes. And only because of the 58,000 students, 55% of them are attending classes, right? So a lot of people wanna finish the term, there's lots of options, and I do know that. But I was wondering if this group wanted to meet with the vice president, academic and provost, I could arrange that. If that's what you want. I mean, so I don't have a conduit to the president,
Okay.
just so you know. However, I know that she's probably taking stock of this. But I'm thinking that's what you need.
So,
Can we ask who this person is and what powers
It's
she
Lisa
has?
Phillips, she's the vice president academic and provost.
yeah.
And she probably has a connection to the negotiating team for the management
I
side.
just wanna make it
Yeah,
clear.
I don't have a connection to that.
You just said that one of our demands, which is our priority, is not gonna happen, so we don't know what the point of meeting with anyone would be
Yeah.
if our demands are not gonna be met. If
I
our
think
demands
that's
are on
what
the
you need to
table.
talk about.
No, but I'm just to be clear, you said very clearly, you don't think that the cancer.
I don't think, but I think that's a topic
Right,
for
but
discussion.
until we have the vice provost herself come here and say we wanna talk about canceling classes because that's a possibility, there's nothing to talk
I
about.
think she'd be willing to meet with you.
Okay, so if she can come
I
here,
really do.
we can,
So,
if she can come here and, you know.
but I don't, so I think the other thing is, this is like a student perspective, not a labor relations perspective. The table is where we need to do labor relations, right? I mean, everybody knows
Yeah,
that. I
but-
mean, I was a CUPE member myself, so let me tell you. I do understand it, and I've been on the picket lines many times, so
Yeah.
I'm all for what I understand.
We had 4 demands, and not all of them are about labor.
I know.
So it's not
So what
students.
are the other ones?
They're
The
on
tuition
them.
credit?
You can read them.
You can
Look
read
at
They're on
them.
the thing.
There are 4 of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
We want
Yeah.
them, and it's not that they have to talk at a bargaining table. Yeah, some of them.
Well,
want
some of the
that. Some
demands are for
directly
the
us.
bargaining table, actually, and some of them for Senate, I think, right? So
We're all-
Senate
No.
needs to meet again to discuss.
Some of our
Like, I
demands?
think when
Can I-
we
can I
talk
be-
about classes,
But
right?
can I be clear? We were here for the Senate meeting where that was supposed to happen, and that's why this occupation is also happening.
Yeah,
Yes.
so I wasn't here, so
I
I
understand,
can't
but you
speak
know
to
what
that.
happened.
Pretty sure
You
you
know
Oh,
what
I saw it
happened.
on the news,
Okay,
yeah.
no,
Yeah, yeah.
it's clear. The
Yeah.
vote is posted and it's clear. And this is why this is why the occupation is happening.
I think there's gonna be another vote.
Okay, let them have the
Probably,
vote,
I think
and then
so.
when that happens, it
Yeah,
happens. And
yeah.
that if our demand is met, it's met. And we have
You
other
seem a little
options.
nervous at me because you're backing up. Are you
No,
okay?
just a second.
Pardon?
I was just looking at what's over here. I can stand really close and.
Okay, I just like to see you a little nervous, so you should be nervous of me, because I'm not on anyone's side, I'm kinda neutral here, so. Yeah, I definitely, I worked in the administration, but it's not to say that I wasn't a CUPE member myself one day, a youth member, I've obviously been at York a long time and been on many fronts of it. But, I think it's important that a discussion does be had at some point.
If the
And-
people who wanna have this
and you and I
discussion,
talked.
if the people who wanna have this discussion come here and say, we're gonna be specifically talking about the demands because there's a possibility they will be met, then we'll talk. Otherwise, I'm telling you, as a collective, we do not wanna speak to anyone otherwise.
So I
Another
just-
thing, sorry,
yeah.
another thing, if you wanna respect this occupation as you're saying, you can't just enter the space, I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry, I was looking for you, so I
Okay.
just sat there, that's
Yeah,
why,
you-
yeah.
now that you have my number,
And
whatever.
I thought you maybe didn't see my text.
Or maybe even, like, okay, you
No
can.
matter
You
what.
could have just knocked on the door.
Okay, so this is actually Indigenous space, so we're all, it's my space too.
No,
So
don't-
let's be
don't
serious.
mix it up with
But
that.
I'm not gonna mix it up, but I'm
Yeah.
gonna tell you.
Don't
No,
use
yeah,
indigenous.
So,
Don't
but
use indigenous.
I know what
yeah.
Occupy is, I've done it
Yeah.
myself,
Yeah.
so let's be
So-
serious, I'm one of
So
your
we're
most
asking you, is this
activist
Occupy
individuals
movement?
ever.
This
Why,
Occupy
she has to
movement is
explain it
asking-
for me. Okay.
Yeah.
However,
Yeah.
I
Sorry.
do think the Vice President Academic said she would meet with you.
When she comes,
you know,
we can have that conversation,
But-
and we have to just, if you wanted to give a message back from us,
Yeah.
tell her that we wanna specifically talk about demands or we're not gonna speak, okay?
Yeah,
That's
and
very
then
clear.
the other thing is, so my other thing about that is, I know there's not that many people there, and I know that CUPE supporting you, and that's fine too,
You
and I
don't
think
know
they
that there's
should.
not that many people in there. Right now, it's just one, no, people do run-ins, I just wanna be clear
Yeah,
about
coming
this.
and going, I get it.
You don't, I'm just saying, you don't know. There isn't
But-
a clear knowledge of what's happening, okay?
However, there are 58,000 students.
Cool.
Yeah,
So
we
you
know
do
that.
need
We
to
understand
understand that. right?
Yeah.
So,
That doesn't affect
you don't represent 58,000 students.
We are
You can tell us who we represent.
No,
We're
I know you're
students.
student speaking.
The Senate doesn't either, but
The
that's
Senate
not
doesn't
the way.
represent us.
Yeah.
Neither does the Board of Governors.
Yeah.
Neither does the
Why-
local
why
elected
do we
government.
need
Neither
to
does-
What's the purpose
Why
of
are we
this
arguing?
conversation?
Yeah,
at this
actually,
point?
I'm
So
sorry.
No,
demands have to
I don't see
be
any reason that we should
spoken
continue the
about,
conversation
and
with her.
yeah,
Yeah.
You're
Well,
absolutely
Jen and
right.
I've had good conversations, so.
Well, this isn't a good
but
one.
that's between.
Yeah.
Well, that's
And
your
I'm-
perspective,
No.
not.
Let's
yours.
go, guys.
It's
Hold
ours.
on.
It's all
Have
of
we
us.
have we
No,
made
but-
enough?
It's all of
No,
us.
it's mine too, just
It's
so
all
to
of
be
us.
very
No,
clear.
but Carmen,
And-
it's
Have
all
we
of us.
hold up?
All of us.
Have we made it clear that we are not gonna talk to anybody until our demands are gonna be discussed? Have we
Okay,
made
but
that clear to
Can you
you?
repeat them for me just so I'm
No,
clear?
you can
look
them
them up.
Tuition-
You can
It
look
is
them
the
up. But you can-
cancellation
it's
classes,
actually made
right?
public. You can
on
look
our
them up
social
online.
media.
They're all very clearly laid out. And I
Yeah.
think until that's a discussion, we can't really keep talking.
And don't use indigenous grievances for your own interests.
Thank you.
Actually, this is
Let's
not
go,
your
guys.
land,
Come
it
on,
is
we're
theirs.
done. Thank you.
Thank you.
One by one, please. Slowly. I want to close the door.